In the last 180 days, this doctor has grown from basically 0 followers to over 100,000 on Instagram without filming a single video. And by the way, this entire thing was AI too. Okay, now back to the real me. Accounts like this, and this are blowing up with 100% AI videos. And if you're trying to grow on social media but just don't have the time to film 1 reel per day, 1 YouTube video per week, and basically turn into a part-time influencer, then I'm about to show you how to crank out hundreds of pieces of AI content that will grow your brand on autopilot. And no, it's not HeyGen, Higgsfield, or anything that you've ever heard of before. So this is a system. So it finds viral videos for you based on what's trending in your niche and your competitors. It scripts like an expert copywriter in your brand voice. It generates audio and video that actually sounds and looks exactly like you. And then it produces and edits videos and even QAs them all the way up to posting. Now, I want to take you back about 2 years ago when I spent literally, I remember, an hour troubleshooting gear before I ever hit record. By the time I actually started filming, I was mentally exhausted, but I posted it anyways and got a measly 150 views. And I sat there thinking, wow, I literally just spent hours and hours of my life for these 150 views. And then I had to do it every single day over and over to stay consistent because I was selling products online at the time just to potentially make some sales. But then I asked the question, what if I didn't have to film at all? And funny enough, I was scrolling on my feed late one night and I saw a video from another competitor and I went down the rabbit hole with his profile and I realized the entire thing, 100%, was AI. Keep in mind, this was like almost 2 years ago. So I did a bit of research and figured out how to clone myself with AI, cloned myself with HeyGen for the first time like 2 years ago and ran with it. Started posting and boom, I had my first 100% AI video go viral and drive a few $1,000s in revenue on TikTok Shop because I was doing content at the time coming off of the heels of shutting down my e-commerce business. And it's crazy because this is literally 2 years ago when I realized how big of an opportunity AI cloning was actually going to become. And fast forward to today, over 1,000 new AI clone accounts are being created every single day. Do the math. That's 30,000 new accounts per month. Conservatively, that is around 500 million additional posts hitting your feed every year that did not exist 12 months ago. And the business owners that move now get the compound advantage before everybody catches on. For example, Dr. Randy here, who we just helped cross 110,000 followers, hit a 5.7 million view video and pulled a 17% interaction rate against an industry standard of 3%, all from an AI version of him that is driving consistent growth with his social media page, consistent leads, and sales in the background. But how do you actually do this? Well, you can't just log into HeyGen and generate a video of yourself and expect results. That's how you get AI slop that damages your brand. 3 rules that separate accounts going nuclear from the ones going nowhere. And if you miss any of them, well, the whole system breaks down. So rule number 1, stop creating from scratch. Because there's one big mistake that I made when I first made my AI clone. I would sit down every Sunday and brainstorm my content ideas. I thought about what felt relevant that week and what my audience might want. I was spending hours on ideation, editing, posting, showing up constantly, working so hard. And then this other competitor page popped up and did the exact same thing that I was doing. The only difference is that I noticed months later, their strategy was pulling all the top performing videos from the largest creators within our niche. This person had literally built a database, studied the hooks, tracked the viral frameworks, figuring out what was going viral, and was just remixing it in his own voice. And about 6 months later, I had built a pretty solid library of content. Some videos cracking thousands of views, had gotten up a few hundred followers, but posting hundreds of videos. Meanwhile, my competitor had several videos north of several million each and had amassed a follower count of over 100,000. I think now it's like over 200,000. I was super good at doing this AI clone stuff. Like I genuinely loved it. And so this is why I made the shift over to become an agency. And I adapted that exact strategy, but for clients, which now we've got many videos over 1 million views and have accumulated well over 200,000 high value Instagram followers for our clients from 100% AI videos. The algorithm already told you what it wants to see. Every niche has these outlier videos, posts that 5, 10, 50, 100x above the average baseline. These data points are showing you exactly what stops the scroll, what drives shares, and what the algorithm rewards. You're not copying anybody when you do this. You're simply extracting the framework, the hook structure, the narrative arc, the format, and delivering it through your own expertise and your own voice. That strategy is how you make sure that almost every video that you produce is built on a foundation that's already proven to work. Rule number 2, the clone setup has to be built correctly. When I first started building my own clone, I thought I would figure it out in a weekend, but it turned out that it would turn into an all-out obsession with me cloning myself over 100 times to nail it and get it perfect. I started by just uploading my footage to HeyGen, set up a basic voice in 11 Labs, generated my first video, but that voice had this flat, slightly robotic quality, like throughout the whole thing on certain words, just a little off, right? The avatar's eyes and teeth just moved in a way that was off. The hands were all over the place. It kind of just felt like you were watching a stranger inside of my own body moving my face. And that's the problem just doing an AI clone the way that everybody else says. Even 2 years later, 11 Labs plus HeyGen, unfortunately, just isn't enough by its own. It literally looks like this.
Even this video is not so bad, but it's kind of robotic, even with all the lighting and everything perfectly done. And what's wrong with my voice?
So I spent the next 4 months studying and spending thousands to try and crack the AI clone quality. I tested different source audio setups, learning how to tune the voice model properly, understanding how to control the gesture system frame by frame, trying all different lighting, scenarios, scenes, running audio through different equalization stages, trying all the different microphones, going line by line, word by word on every single script to control the inflection and the pacing. Then I spent literally one whole year cracking the systemization of it, running my AI clone agency, figuring out how you can actually make fully edited AI videos with a single push of a button. And I can say now that I have cracked it. Now I can literally create infinite number of AI videos per day that look and sound exactly like me. And it's been one of the main revenue drivers for my business, generating multiple 6 figures of organic and paid traffic to my offer. Which brings us to rule number 3. Volume without quality and a system, it's just chaos. AI slop. Having an AI clone isn't the same thing as having a content system that works. And I learned that the hard way too. Early on, I had my clone creating daily content, the quality was dialed, and I was genuinely excited. So I started producing, generated the script, made the video, and repeated over and over. By week 3, I had a folder of videos with no consistent posting schedule, no editing workflow dialed in, and no distribution process that I could count on, which means that I was still the bottleneck. I was still generating all the AI videos and orchestrating the entire system manually. So I built a system that removes me from that bottleneck completely. Here's how this looks. So we're in my space right now. I'm going to take us out of this galaxy, which you'll have to stick around for another video on, right into our list view here. These are all the videos I've been working on today. I have an ad that I've been cooking up. All I did was put my script in here, put the whole strategy together, and it actually put the directive in place around what exactly we need to do. It then had the scene director come in and actually choose out of all of my avatars. So I have a backend library here with all of my clones, right? So I have a bunch of image clones here. I also have my HeyGen connected. I have multiple different voice models all connected in here as well. And so what we do is we just pull all this into an orchestration layer, and we have AI agents that are actually validating the scripts. It goes through and it chooses scene by scene. What it does then is it takes what is the script and it runs it through an AI waterfall. And this means that it's actually analyzing the entire image. It's pulling out all the references that it needs to lock. It's then choosing what is the template that we want to write the prompt in, and then it's running it through a directive, staging out all the different camera lightings, the atmosphere, the energy, the delivery, the gestures is super important. I have a backend gesture library that's built out. And so what happens is this right here is the perfect prompt. And I didn't have to write it. All I had to do was click this little enhance all or this enhance button. And what it does is it writes the prompts for me, and then it generates the videos and it generates the perfect voice on the back end. So it goes through this editing step here, and then it goes to review, and it takes all of these scenes that we just made and it puts them together. So check this out. They didn't sell you an AI clone. They sold you homework. You don't have time for a curriculum. You pay for speed and you pay for the best. That's what we do. There we go. We have our whole media library in here with our actual B-roll from our business, our travels, etc., intelligently indexed so that it can be placed on the timelines. We know exactly what's working in our industry and our niche because we have not only all of our competitors in a nice list here where we can go analyze any of their content down to like an atomic level. You can see right here, we have the entire video of exactly what this was. We can even pull out this context document and it'll roll into our script creation process, and we can batch that and pass that over to the strategist here. We're also tracking topics for our content. We're super focused with Claude Code, AI clones. We're keeping track with a bunch of search terms here. And anytime there's any news that's also correlated with triggers around market share, acquisition, deepfake, whatever it might be, we're getting notified. And we have several workflows on the back end that are actually aggregating and crawling the internet and then clustering them by virality. So if we wanted to, we could pop in here, security researchers, expose Claude. Great. That sounds amazing. Let's hit deep research. We have 23 sources right here. It's going to summarize everything from those 23 sources, and then it's going to pull that into a context document, just like with the viral video. And then those get shared into the strategist here. And then the strategist here is actually able to help you do the copywriting. And then you just hit send, and then that sends it over to the production board into one of these, and it just starts working. And the cool thing about this system is that you can have a clone operator in the middle of it, driving every single thing, pushing all the buttons, or you can have it fully autonomous with all the AI gates open, or a blend of the two. Yeah, so there's really only two places that you should touch the loop, which is scripting and editing. And that allows you to quality control your brand with a quick daily check-in while the system works for you. There are accounts with hundreds of thousands of followers right now that are running entirely on AI clones, and you don't even know because the quality is that good. The knowledge in those videos still belongs to the person, but the clone just removes the bottleneck of needing to physically show up and film every single piece of content. From here, you have two options. You can go build this yourself. I have other videos on this channel breaking down the tools, the setup, the process, the workflow, step by step. You can get a great head start there. Or if you want a shortcut, the thousands of hours it took me to dial this in, the bad clones, the wrong setups, the chaotic early pipeline, and just skip straight to a system that's been battle tested in my agency with multiple 9-figure clients. It's already proven. You can book an audit call directly with me below this video, and I will prepare an AI version of you before our call, and I'll show it to you when we hop on. If you love it, great. We can talk about partnering together and build the entire system end to end for your business. And if it doesn't make sense, then we will point you to some of the best free resources out there. So it's a win-win. So go ahead, click that link below. And if you want to see how Dr. Randy recently implemented this system and went from 90 followers to over 100,000 followers without filming a single video, then check this video out here where I break down the exact AI clone system that we built for him step by step so you can see how the system works.